Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS148, and it's the second week of classes here, and so video number 3. And so let me share my screen, see where we are. Screen share. 3. And so here we are in La Lima, and we're in here. So strings, there's a couple of short challenge activities or lab activities. You should be pretty good with strings. Strings is one of the pretty important things to know how to do, to manipulate in Python, and this is your second semester, but anyway, so you should go over the chapter. There's a couple of new sections, or at least one, and then these are some short lab activities. I can go over those, and then I'd like to spend the rest of the hour returning to the large 6.20 lab, this lab, authoring assistant. It's got an asterisk here. That means it's really a tough one. And so the way this textbook works, as you might have seen the little notes, is some instructors like to, some methods of teaching are giving small 1 or 2 larger assignments. They all have to work to, all the parts, a bunch of different parts that have to work together. And then another approach is to do a bunch of small assignments that are sort of separate and independent, and have get your skills, practicing different skills. And there's different theories about which is better. And the first semester we did do a lot of short ones. It helps when you don't have a lot of time to. With the longer ones, you should really spend an afternoon and think about. So that way you keep all the variables in your head, and then because returning to it is a little bit more difficult. So we'll do that. But so we'll come back to this. But so let's real quick take a look at what's in chapter 7 that we might want to quickly review on strings. Let's see, let me go back to here and to here. Okay, so these looks like there's these two look like they're new, I guess. Strings slicing, and so this it's not like this wasn't covered in previous versions of the book, but they just expand it more here, and you get practice in referencing referencing different characters of a string using this notation here. So, take a look at that and make sure you understand that. Go through the practice here. So here, just quickly go through this. Oops. So it's, you do the first index on up to, but not including the next index. So this is going to be 0 and 1, but not 2. So that's why it's just these 2 characters that appear here. The next one is 0 through 6. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the third one is 7, 8, 9. And you notice when you subtract the first one from the second one, you get the number of characters. So anyway, this makes sure you understand that. This is going to be 0, 1, and 2, 0, 1, 2. So it's just and so on. This goes on and explains that when it's implemented in Python, you're actually creating a new object, so on. String slicing tool, that's just shows you more of this. So anyway, so make sure you understand that. And this goes backwards. This is backwards from the other end. This is forwards from the left side, and this is backwards from the right side. Okay, so stride. This is if you're going to step through, if you're going to go every other. Okay, this will go from 0 to 9, doing every other one. Stride is 2. So otherwise, it defaults to 1, of course. Okay, that's this chapter. And then this one's splitting and joining. You know about splitting, joining. I'm sure we covered joining in the last semester. It's the opposite of splitting. This takes a string and splits it up into an array of smaller strings, where this was the separator. And then joining is okay. So this creates an array of strings. Join takes an array of strings and joins them together, separated by the separator here. So this is going to join all these together with the separator being the empty string. So it's just going to concatenate them all together, basically. All right, so that's joining. Let me open the chat here in case anybody has a question. All right. Okay, let's do a challenge activity. We haven't done one of these yet. All right. What am I supposed to do here? Type the programs up. But first we get an item info, which is a string. And then we split the string up by the space. This defaults to just a space. And then we want to know what the first one is, and that would be this. And the second one would be the 14, and the third one would be the price. So this would be that, and this would be 14, and this would be 15. And then we're going to print the bat. We're going to print that. And then we're going to print a space because since we use commas here, it just puts a space in between the things that you're printing. Space, stock, colon, space, and the quantity is 14. And then we go enter, and we say price, colon, space, 15. Enter. See what this workflow looks like. Yes. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so this is going to print something like the separator. No, it's going to, the address tokens are, oh, I see. The address tokens are www and at YAHOO and COM. Those are the address tokens because we split on the period, and this is a period. So it's this one and this one and this one. But now we're supposed to connect them back up again, not with a period, but with a semicolon, because we're going to take separator here and we're going to join these up. This array of 3 strings here, we're going to join them up with a separator of this. So the answer is to put a semicolon in between these two, and it's a print statement, so you want to make sure you put that return there. So I'll let you do that. All right, so let's quickly take a peek at this. Remove all alpha characters. So write a program that removes all non-alpha characters in the input. So we want to somehow Advanced string formatting. Do we do any, string methods? Let's see, find, count. Where's some other methods? Is num, you want to actually have it do something. Oh. Well, I better look and see what, oh, I see. That's how we do it. Okay, so the way we do it is we, where's the problem? Let's go back to the problem. We actually loop through one character at a time. And if it is not an alpha character, then we don't so we build a new string. Do we need to make? Okay, I guess we don't need to be that fancy. All right, so I'm going to write a program, and I'm going to input the string. All right. Okay, so I'm going to say input string equals input. Okay, and I don't know why I went to string. Okay, and then I'm going to say output string equals nothing. Okay, just to initialize it. Then I'm going to do for each character in input string, do something. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of my other business down there. Let me find some sort of, I'm going to copy this, copy it, put it here. And I'm going to say save as in on my desktop in 148 7 5.py. And then I'm going to go back and find exactly what the fancy method is that I want to leave. And it was, is num is something. Okay. Turns true if all characters in the string are lower. Oh, no, I don't want these to. Is AL. Oh, because I'm just doing one character at a time. Okay, good. So I want to check each character and returns true if all characters are lowercase or uppercase letters or the letters 0 through 9. And what is it that okay, so I'm going to use, can I open two things at once? All non-alpha characters. So it's just the alpha characters. So all you want is alpha characters. So it's got to be this. And it says here all characters, but we're just going to do one character at a time. So it's returns true if the character is a string, and this returns true if this character is a number because is lower upper space. And so, okay, so it's got to be this and not this. Okay, so So for the particular character, this has to return true, and this has to return false because it can't be a digit. Here it can be a digit. Here it can be a letter or a digit. All right, so it's going to be is, okay, so let me go over here, I guess. I don't know. Let me go here and go, oh, so for each character in the string, you know, I'm going to just do C just because I like little things. If, okay, so I'm going to go one character at a time in input string, and if it passes my rigid test of being a letter, if C dot is alpha or numeric, if it's alpha and is alpha and numeric, and is it not is digit. Oops, I gotta do C is digit. Is digit. If both of these are true, then I will append. How come it didn't indent? Then I will output string equals, this is 148, so I can do this character C. Append C onto output string. Yes. And then I guess then when that's all done, I can just print output string. Okay, so if that's what my code looks like, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna open up a command prompt, CMD, and this pops up, and I think it's over in OneDrive or something. CD OneDrive, CD desktop, CD ITS148. Let's see what's there, and I'm doing 7-5.py, so I can Python 7-5.py, and what happens? Oh, I gotta read something in. Oh, I'm waiting for something in. Okay, so I'm gonna type in, oh, what am I doing? I'm gonna type in this. Copy, paste, enter. Oh, looks like it worked. Okay, well anyway, you can, so anyway, I think you have enough now to be able to do this problem. So let's look at the next problem. Complete the reverse list function that returns a new string list containing all of the contents in the parameter, but in reverse order. All right, okay, so it's string. I'm doing strings here. All right, so, and they want to put us like, okay, so basically, this is this. So this is a list. And this is a function which takes this list and reverses it. And so that's what this code does. This is a list that comes in. So let me copy this over to here. And this is actually 7-6. I'll just so I can save as 7.6-6. So I got to type some code in here. All right, so I'm gonna, so I have to pass back something that looks like this, filled with these things in reverse order. So I'm gonna start with what I'm gonna pass back, and I'm gonna call it, and that's called a list. List back, how's that? List back, what a nice name for that. Equals nothing, equals emptiness. And then I'm gonna do for, that one. I'm gonna try to do it different. Is there some sort of stipulation? Okay, so I can, oh, I see. Oh, it's hard to append. Oh, I see. I got to do the reverse thing, don't I? All right. So the way it's having me do it, it's going to loop through indexing. So we're going to index these things. So for an index I in how many there are in there, which would be range of the length of letters. Okay, so the length of letters in this case is 3. So I in the range of letter, this is 3. So I in the range of 3 is going to be 0, 1, 2. So that's what I is going to be, 0, 1, and 2. Well, we're indexing these things. And what we want to do is we want to take these things and we want to start with the, see, when we create a list, we have to create it from the beginning. We append on the end of the list. So, but we can address, we can reference or reference, we can address the each item in the list by its index. So that's what we're going to do. So first we need the index of the last one, and that's going to go in first. So the index of the last one would be something like, so I'm going to call it reverse I, just because it's a reverse I. That equals the length of letters minus I. Okay, so minus I. Okay, now, so if I is 0, we want reverse I to be 2. The length of I is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. We want it to be 2. So I bet you I got to subtract 1 from it. Okay, so I is, this is going to be 3. This is always going to be 3. And when I is 0, this is going to be 3 minus 0 minus 1 is 2. When I is 1, this is going to be 3 minus 1 minus 1, which is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. That's right. And then when I is 2, this is going to be 3 minus 2, which is 1, minus 1, which is 0, which is what we want. Okay, so this is the formula. So now that we have reverse I, we can say list back, and to append, we say this append, and we just put what it is we want to append, and that would be letters reverse I. Like that. Now, just so you know, here, let me just quickly run this, see if it's right. 6.py. It's hard to, none. Oh, I got to return something. Stupid. return list back. I wonder if you could do it using the same, anyway, okay, let's see if this works. Okay, CBA, yeah, okay, so it works. It's hard to tell because the way they make it here, you know, you can't really test it with any other string arrays. But when you submit your code this way, and you have this here on top of your main program, and your main program is the then part of the if, then this becomes a module where you can test the different methods independently. So the auto grader is able just to go right directly and test reverse list. It's skipping all this other stuff that you had here. So that's what happens when you submit. Take this code, which I believe works, and pop it into here. And so that should probably work. You can see if that works. All right. I was 12:50, so I'm going to spend 3 minutes thinking about this. Seems like you could do make this not. Yeah, I guess you gotta have a temporary variable. All right. Okay, so let's go back to here, and let's go back and start working on this one again. And we were working on this authoring assistant. And do I have what I was doing last time? I bet maybe I do. Let me look inside. Oops, something else. Let me look inside my say here. Yeah, this could be 824. Was that the last class? Maybe it was. Okay, anyway. All right, so I think this probably was where I left off last time. So let's just continue with this. Let me try run it. Python lab 6.20.py. Enter sample text. What's it supposed to do? Oh, nice, interesting. Okay. All right. So let's go to where we are here. It's in here. Yeah. Okay, so we prompt the user to enter a string of their, let me find I got some notes here on this bugger. This is quite a program here. Okay, what's the second part? Implement a print menu. Okay, so I did that, right? Print menu. Yeah, print menu, there it is. There's my print menu, looks just like that. Okay, what's the third one? Implement the execute menu function that takes two parameters, a character representing the user's choice and the user provided sample text. Provided sample text. Execute menu performs the menu options according to the user's choice by calling the appropriate function described below. All right, so I'm going to create this execute menu. Okay, execute menu. Okay. All right, so this is, so you choose an option. You choose an option, and right. Okay, so I'm going to say, so I'm going to have a new method right here, def execute menu. And what's going to come in is some option, which is going to be a letter, and then some kind of user string that's got a bunch of stuff. Okay, it's got what it's the operand or the argument for the function that's defined by the option. Okay, okay. So now there's turns out that an option can be, it's going to be all these things. It could be a C or a W or an F. So if option equals C, then you're going to do something. Print, number of non-white space characters. It's going to be something, and then after that, after I print what it is, I want to do a print out a character turn, a line feed thing. And so what do? It's got to be this. And then I'm going to do this fancy Python format. And what the argument of the format is going to be something in here that is going to be some number. It's going to be a function, but I'm going to come to that later, and I'm just going to put 5. So it's kind of like a stub, because I just want to test this thing. I don't need to test what the function is that goes in here. It's get the number of non-white space characters. So I'll come to that later down below where it asks me to do that. Okay, so this is one. There's going to be a and I don't need to do an else or anything because these are all going to be mutually exclusive anyway. And so if option equals C, I'm going to do that. If option equals W or F or R or S, Q will be handled on the outside, or W or F or R or S. And this one is number of words. And this one is going to be number of, no, it's going to be fixed capitalization. Fix capital, how did I know that? How did I know that? Fixed capitalization, and this is going to be replace punctuation. How does it know that? Shorten spaces. Shorten space. Okay, so I don't know, this is going to be blah S. This is going to be blah R. I just want to put something. And this is going to be fixed caps. And this can be 15 or something, whatever. Okay, so and then after it's done, it should Didn't do anything after that. Now the solution actually has this ELIF, and it might be just ever so slightly more efficient, and then it it takes care of the case where you accidentally leave one of these letters the same and everything. But this is just fine. Okay, so we've got execute menu, and okay, so calls the right functions. Does it say some functions to call? Oh, wait a minute. Did I put, oh, this came with it. Got it. So, okay, so this came with it. I didn't do this. I must have just copied this over. All right, that's fine. So this prints the menu. That's the last thing it does here. And then we're gonna, we did, where do we enter? Where's Q? Q, menu choice. Where does menu choice come from? Okay, all right. So we start out by initializing a menu choice. We're going to start out by menu choice equals nothing. I'm just going to do a blank. Menu choice is a blank. And then I'm going to say down here, I print out the menu. Then I'm going to do while menu choice is blank, or it is not equal to quit. It's not equal to quit, Q. While it's not equal to Q, then ask for a new menu choice. Menu choice equals input, choose an application, choose an option. And put a return there. I don't know why I want to do that. Okay. All right, so that's there. So it asks for a menu choice, and it's going to be a letter, I hope. And so I'm going to say if menu choice is in this. Now we're going to do a nice little list here. If it's a C, or if it's a W, or if it's a F, or if it's a R, or if it's an S, then if it's one of those things, then you want to call this execute menu function. And the first parameter is the option. Remember up here, it's the option. And that would be this menu choice thing. So that's menu choice. And the second is the string that you want to do the option on, and that's user string. And that's what you asked for right up here. You asked for the sample text. So it's sample text that we put here. Sample text. Okay, so that executes the menu, and it might do something. Or it's going to print out some stuff, and then when the menu is all done executing, you want to print out the menu again. Okay, so that's just like this. That's just like printing it out for the first time, and then it comes back around and it executes this again. And this was read in from here. if what this was, if this that was read in is one of these things, then that means you want to execute the menu. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. Or you could put something like elif menu choice. Well, in fact, no, I'm going to do this. Else print, please enter C or W or F or R or S or Q. Okay, and then I'm going to put Q here. And if it is a Q, it's not going to do anything. Okay, but this way it prints out an error message. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to run it. Enter sample text. Now is the time period question mark. I don't know. And so it does this. You entered that. Oh, now, okay, now it asks me to do something. So I'm going to say I want to do C. What does it do? It says number of white space characters equals 5. How about if I do F? I should have it print out fixed capitalization. I should have it print out what the user string is. Anyway, so it appears that that part works. Okay, so I bet next it's going to have me start implementing some of these functions. Times 113. All right. In the main program called print menu, analyzing, editing strings, each option is represented by a single character. If an invalid character is entered, continue the prompt. I never did test that, did I? X. Please enter this. Choose an option. Okay. Okay. Anyway, that's probably not how you're supposed to do it, but you know, follow this and until you enter Q. Okay. Implement the get number of non-white space characters function. The get number of non-white space has a string parameter and returns the number of characters in the string, including excluding all white space. Get this execute menu and returns this. Okay, so I wonder how you get the number of white space characters. Well, let's see. Let me see what this says here. Get number of white space characters. Oh. It's basic and how you'd think. Okay, so I'm going to say, now you have to make sure that you implement them using these proper names, because that's how it tests it. It does a unit test. So I'm going to implement it this way. Get number of non-white space characters. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to create another function called def that, and as a parameter, it's just going to be some user string. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do, I'm going to add up the number of non-white space characters. So I'm going to say num equals 0, start up by initializing it to 0. And I'm going to say for every character in user string, for every character in the user string, if it's not true that character is a space. If that's not true, then we want to add one to num. And when we're all done, oops, when we're all done, we want to return num. Okay, so if we do have this function, let me just copy this here. And so if it's a C, oh, it's here. So this is, we want it to be this function here. In fact, why don't I just do this? N equals this, and what this is this is going to be just the user string. So it's going to call this function, and it's going to return N is going to be the number of non-white space characters according to how this thing works. Adds up, loops through all the characters of this, and if the character is not, if it's not true that the character is a space, I think we're using is space or something. Is there a is space? Returns true if all characters are white space. Okay, so if it's not true that it's a space, then we want to add one to it. Okay, and then return that number. Okay, so that, and so we want to put N here, N. And how's it supposed to look? How's it supposed to say the number of? Oh, the number of non-white space characters is N. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and I'm going to put this in as the sample text. Copy. And I should get 181 maybe. I don't know. Let's see. So let's quit here. Let's see if the queue works. Oh, good. So I'm going to run it again. Enter sample text. There we go. Okay, I entered that. Menu is this, and now I'm going to test out C. Number of non-white space characters is 181. Well, great. All right, did that one. What about this one? Get the number of words. And it says hint. Every word, words are separated with spaces. Words are separated with spaces. So let's remember that. And this is the function. And we go back here, and now we're going to do a def that. And again, it's going to be a user, some sentence. And I'm going to do the number of words equals 0. I don't know if I need to do this, but oh, split. Oh, I know. Words equals sentence split on spaces. And then I'm just going to say return words, or a length of words plus 1. Is that right? I think. So I don't need this at all. Let's see what my trusty let me see. Let me just. I'm going to do it. Is there a trim function? Is there trim in Python trim? Strip. Looks like it's strip. So I'm going to say strip, just in case there's an extra space at the end. Strip. Let's see if that works. All right, save this. And so I'm gonna go, I'm gonna run it now with the same, I'm gonna run it with this thing. Copy, quit. I'll run it again. This is the sample text. Choose an option. Let's see if C still works. It does, 181. Now let's see if W works. It says number of words, 15. I wonder what the answer was. 35. Oh, I wonder if it's because 35. I'm gonna try. Seems like, all right, I'm gonna take this out of there because I don't want to confuse it right now. Now let's see what this does. I gotta get out, come back in again. I see there's multiple spaces in each one. Okay, so W 15. It still says 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Let's see. All right. Well, the way, I don't know why that doesn't work. Maybe I'm doing, let's see, let me just quickly check to make sure that Python array, it's not called a list size. Len, yeah, it is Len. So, so anyway, so the a better answer is ends in a space. What time is it? 12:23. Well, anyway, I'm going to come back to that one because I don't know why you can't split on spaces. Sentence. Wait a minute, hold on. Stupid, I know what the problem is. I have that there. I gotta do this. I gotta do the kind of thing I did here. Nobody said anything. Okay, no one's paying attention. All right, so this is actually this. I still don't know if it's going to work because these things have double spaces. I don't know if that's going to do anything. So I want to put N here and number of words. Okay, so let me save this. Try this again. Quit. Run it again. Oh. Number of words. It's going to be a number that comes back. Number of words. Use a string. And let's get number of words. What does it say? Indent doesn't match. Oh, it's because this has got to be there. You see that? It's got to line up. Okay. And I don't think I have, no, I know I don't have. Paste. And I'm doing W and I get 36. 36. Wonder why it's 36 instead of 35. Oh, I know why. Because it actually should just be this, because that's all we really are after. The reason I said +1 is because I was somehow thinking that we're counting the number of spaces. And if you count the number of spaces, it's going to be the number of words would be the number of spaces +1, because, you know, there's only, there's one fewer. But anyway, so this is what the answer should be. I'm positive. Okay. Let me go quit out of here, run it again, and W. All right, 135. All right, what's next? Implement fixed capitalization. So has a string parameter and returns an updated string. Okay, we are on step 7, 8, 9. That's it. I'm gonna it's 127. I'm gonna leave it here. Let me see this capitalization one. Yes, I'm gonna. Is there an easier one I can do? No, there's not. All right, so I'm gonna leave it here, and I might make an auxiliary video. Let's see, it's 127. I don't know, maybe I'll just do two videos next week, and I'll make sure I cover the rest of this, because the next 3 functions are actually kind of tricky. Anyway, so so I think I'm going to leave it here. Does anybody have any questions? All righty. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching.